Our second story this evening is Fashion in Men's Footwear, Late 20th Century by Steve Wheeler. Steve lives in a haunted former mill house in Sheepscombe near Stroud. When he isn't writing short stories or poetry, Steve spends time trying to channel his inner Laurie Lee, either on Sheepscombe cricket pitch or in the Woolpack pub. Steve says he's had more success in the Woolpack. Interesting Steve Wheeler fact: his garden contains one of the country's oldest monkey puzzle trees. Please welcome to read Fashion in Men's Footwear, Late 20th Century, Steve Wheeler.
Fashion in Men's Footwear, Late 20th Century, the 1960s. With a shilling, I can buy a stripy paper bag of lemon and lime chews. I watch the fat lady tip the sugary-lipped jar over the pan on the scales. I scrutinise while she adds and subtracts sweets with her licorice all-sorts spade until the big hand points to 4 ounces o'clock. Outside on a bicycle leant on the shop window, Pamela Blackwell has been holding my bike upright, her bare legs resting on her handlebars. I'd seen her red knickers as she pulled up her knees. So I squat down and retie the laces on my new black baseball boots. On the path that leads to the woods, I can't keep up with her. I breathe only the dust from her sherbet hair in the peppermint light that ripples through the leaves. If you give me all the red ones, you can kiss me. She laughs out of sight. I think for a shilling I could have bought a ton of strawberry hearts. There aren't any red ones, I yell through tears, and wish that she'd noticed my new black baseball boots. I should be in the lead. I should be the one who decides what colour kisses are. The 1970s. If I slide the driver's seat back as far as it can go, I can depress the clutch in my brown and cream 6-inch stacked platform shoes. Although I can't feel if my right foot is on the minuscule brake or accelerator pedal. Linda Osborne will be finishing her shift in the hotel restaurant at 2 o'clock. Just enough time for a pint in the bar. In her staff accommodation attic bedroom, I unzip her out of her black waitress's skirt and unbutton her ironed white shirt. Her underwear smells of Sunday lunches. You're quite a bit shorter out of your shoes, she says on her narrow bed. Linda knows where there's a party. I double declutch the car through the lanes whilst I stroke the inside of her thigh. The right-hand bend is 30 degrees too many. My stacked right foot presses on the accelerator rather than the brake. A ditch and a dry stone wall come between us and the party. You fucking idiot, you nearly killed me, she says before pulling down her denim skirt and climbing up the ditch to the road. Well, I've broken a heel, I tell her, and they cost 30 quid. The hotel chef arrives on his motorbike and helps Linda onto the pillion. I stand on my one good shoe, so I'm as tall as he is. The 1980s. In the gentleman's outfitters in Oxford, where university students of philosophy purchase their English mustard corduroy trousers, I buy black Oxford shoes with loops of perforations around the shiny toe caps. I've got a diploma in business studies from the Polytechnic, but in London Square Mile, we're all high flyers. In the Gentleman's Club in Soho, we're measured up for girls. And taxis hail back to the company flat off Marble Arch. The fridge is stocked only with champagne. The boys take glasses and a bottle each, then peel off to the bedrooms where the girls peel off for their share of the bonuses. But I can't go to the bedroom. I've fallen in love with Mandy, who kisses me on the ear so softly, her hair as sheer and as black as her stockings. She tells me she's from Jamaica and only does this work because her banker husband left her with 2 young kids, and there's the mortgage to pay and the private school fees and the nanny when they're not boarding away. I start to make plans for when she comes to live with me and her children, and I help her find a proper job, and we have 2 sweet light brown kids all of our own. Lover, are we going to do it or not? She asks in the kitchen after the champagne and the talk has all dried up. No, I say, I respect you too much for that. And can we meet outside any time of work? Somewhere non-business related, as it were. After work next Monday, she said, but I need something to make up for lost income tonight. I give her 100 and open the cab door for her in the sober London dawn. You're a proper gentleman, she says, and kisses me. I look down at my black Oxfords. Yes, I think I am. We haven't got any Jamaican Mandys here, never has, said the doorman of the Gentlemen's Club on the Monday night. I tip the shoeshine boy a £5 and buy a pair of laces I don't need. The 1990s, excuse me. The 1990s. The sun boils into the beach buggy my fiancée Alison and I have hired for the day. I drive in bare feet, even though the foot pedals are too hot to touch. We drive through villages where children's faces watch our passing from glassless windows and baking stoops. Down a track that leads through breadfruit and banyan trees, the children run after us, shoeless over the sharp roadstone. White sand arcs around the green water and black shadows of coral. We leave the buggy in the shade of eucalyptus and take beach bags. We lay our hotel towels under coconut trees and walk the length of the beach hand in hand. I stop and throw fallen coconuts into the waves. We watch them bobbing like swimmers' heads and wait for them to roll back up the sand. We've brought a picnic of wine and pink melons. I cut the melons with a knife borrowed from the hotel's buffet. I try to stab a drinking hole in a coconut, but miss and stab a hole in her towel. I hope I don't get stranded on a desert island with you, Alison says. We should go for a swim now we're here, I say, skinny dipping. We're the only ones on the beach. No way, she says, and asks me to hold her towel while she pulls on a one-piece. Reminds me of family holidays in Newquay, I say. She won't go in the sea. It's too corally and I didn't bring shoes. Alison goes back into the shade and rubs in more high factor. I do breaststroke over the warm swell. 2 local girls come onto the beach and strip off at the water's edge. Under dirty dresses, they're wearing bikinis, but they toss the tops aside, then high step over the waves. In the deeper water, they arch their bodies and disappear under, their bottoms floating momentarily on the surface. I go back to the towels and stretch out. She's pretending to be asleep behind sunglasses. I close my eyes and listen to the 2 girls chattering like the frantic little birds in the papaya trees. Then there's a heavy, wet slap on my stomach. I don't look up. Ouch, what the hell was that for? What was what for? Alison says. I look up. There's a lizard on me, rat-sized, but with a longer tail. It's fallen or jumped from the coconut tree leaning over us. It turns its head to one side and winks at me. Fucking hell! I jump to my feet, flaying at my stomach. The back of my hand touches the lizard's mouth. Ah, I felt its flicky tongue. Alison starts to laugh. I haven't seen her laugh since we arrived. I'm not sure I've ever seen Alison laugh like she is now. Serves you right. Those girls felt your flicky tongue when you swam up close. The lizard slinks into the undergrowth. I watch the girls skip out of the water and dress. They don't have towels, but the water evaporates from their brown skin. When they walk past us, they're dry as pebbles. We should make love now we're here, I say to Alison. Deserted tropical beach, coconut trees. And have a reptile crawl over me. No thanks. We don't speak on the walk back to the buggy. Alison strides in front of me with her towel wrapped from her chest down. The top of the dashboard behind the steering wheel has been adorned with red and pink seashells and blooms of wild hibiscus. Gifts from the children, I say, and pull my camera from the beach bag. Put a flower behind your ear. Take your towel off. Let me take a photo. She picks a compact mirror from her bag and smears sunblock on her nose. Save it for the local fauna, she says. One by one, my fiancé drops the seashells and hibiscus flowers into the slipstream. I stop at a roadside shack that has beach things for sale on a wooden trestle. I'm going to buy a pair of jelly shoes, I say. I'm getting cold feet. She raises her sunglasses. Jelly shoes? Jelly shoes, she says, are for wankers.